What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Culture Code. How y'all doing?
What's happening? What's happening?
What it do?
Your camera kind of messed up. Fresh a little bit. Well, maybe not.
Was it
A little squashed, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it looks squashed a little bit.
I thought it was just.
Squashed it in the OBS
Remember the intros in them Chinese movies back in the day, the karate flicks and shit? How they used to have them all squished up.
Yeah, I thought it was just me. I'm like, man.
Now we gotta make sure your lips correspond with the mic and shit.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a slight delay on that. I'm like I said, I'm trying something new.
You will be defeated.
It looked decent though. Not bad. All right, who was that just dropped off? Who was that? Anyhow, it's good to see you guys, man. Happy Tuesday. If you guys haven't already, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Catch us on the replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe as well. What's going on, Mrs. Hink? True Tables in the house. Cooley. Official Mama G, how you doing? Dominique Clark, my first time seeing you. So where the women at? Oh, it's Tuesday, man. We kind of keep it light. Women can come up. I'll drop the link if y'all want to pull up. You know, it's not to be like a sausage fest, but
I dare you.
Yeah. Welcome to the Culture Code, man. So we're gonna have a little discussion. Open it up with an intro topic, and then we'll go ahead and get into the main topic. What's going on, Trevon?
Yo.
Also got Fishing and Fit. It's good, brother. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up, man, with this. What's that girl name? I got her damn name already. It's been a long day, man. Long day and no sleep. I forgot her name. But when y'all see it, we're gonna play this clip. It went viral. A lot of people talking about it, so we're gonna go ahead and discuss it. Y'all ready?
I'm about to say it.
Yeah.
To know is that I never want to live together.
Pretend we're on a first date. Okay. And I'm like, okay, Kiki, do you want the steak? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so do you want kids?
I could be open, but one thing I need you to know is that I never want to live together. I like my alone time.
But is that real?
That's real.
Oh, wait, are you speaking as Kiki?
Yeah,
right
I'm speaking as the Kiki. I just feel like, Whoopi Goldberg said it best once. She was like, I don't want nobody in my house.
Yeah.
Wait,
And I just feel that.
time out. You're for real right
I'm
now?
she's for real.
serious.
So what,
Marry even.
So
You're
he's
married.
gonna live around the corner?
Around the corner would be great. We can be in a guest house, you know what I'm saying? We can be on the same, land, but I'm over there and he's over there.
Yeah.
At best, separate rooms.
So what about, in your bathroom, you have the 2 toothbrushes?
Think about how fun it would be to be like, I'm going over to my man's house.
Yeah.
Over there.
Get over there.
You know what?
Keeps
Right.
it fun and
So fun.
exciting. I want to go sit on his couch.
And he better clean when you're coming over.
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
You know
It
what?
seems
I will say I'm laughing about it, but there are probably people watching right now who agree with you. Oh, man, I said the 2 toothbrushes, and she's like, nope.
Yeah, that's like the grossest.
All right. So that was Kiki, man, and she seems to have been a spokesperson for a lot of women. On that actual clip, I was looking at the comments, and how often do we hear where people are valuing their peace, both men and women? But in particular, we have a lot of women that was agreeing with Kiki. And the issue that I have is that it always seems to come after a heartbreak. And what tends to happen is that a lot of people hop on this bandwagon where they want to be separated, not together. But let me get you guys' opinions about what Kiki had to say and what you hear on the regular when it comes to valuing your peace. If I do get a man, we got to live in separate houses and all that good stuff.
For the most part, you're right. They normally get with somebody. Maybe they should have got with, maybe they shouldn't have, and then take their particular heartbreak to the market and poison it for everybody else. But completely unrealistic, and it takes away from what the guy would actually do. You're essentially just business partners and booty calls at that point. You're not actually growing together, persevering together, and it's it's a dream scenario that could easily become a nightmare. But I wouldn't go ahead and just be taking advice from folks that are coming from heartbreak or embarrassment and thinking they actually have a level head about what's going on.
Fresh, that's a prop mic.
Say what?
That's a prop mic.
Damn,
That joint ain't on. That joint is not on.
Why are you playing?
Hold on, don't do that to him, man.
You got
Black
hook.
folks
I
are
wanna-
great, and you see what they do.
I wanna
Yo,
listen. I want to add to that. I do think it's true that that perspective can come from heartbreak. It can. However, I don't think it's fair to dismiss it just because it may come from heartbreak. You know what I mean? A lot of times the reason why some relationships don't work is because people don't know themselves. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they want. And a lot of times through heartbreak or through a relationship going wrong, you learn the things that you didn't like, the things that you did like, and the things that you want to change moving forward for your next relationship. On top of that, the idea of like, if we really think about it, like the idea of a husband and wife living together is kind of like a modern concept. Like if you look in the past, for example, especially if you look at like royalty, there was like the court where the king lived, and then his wife lived somewhere else, like in a different palace. Like, and he had to summon her. He had to summon her to the court.
Why would we look at royalty?
I'm just giving an example from the past. You don't have to. You can take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? It's just an example I'm using. But I'm using royalty because royalty would be an example of like, we always talk about setting up generational wealth and setting up like a structure. So if you're using like a relationship to build a structure, especially like a family, I feel like that would be something good to pattern after. But I'm just saying, like, it's a new thing for or people without resources actually usually tend to be in situations where they like live together. But in situations where there's resources, a lot of times the wife has her own place, especially in polygamous situations. Part of polygamous situations is each wife got to have their own house. So I don't think it's the idea of living separately is ridiculous. I think that in modern society, we have like these ideas about romance, and romance is like, we got to be together all the time. We got to text all the time. If I text you and you don't respond in an hour, you don't love me no more. And if I'm not up under you every day, that means that we don't have a solid relationship. And I mean, I don't know, from even just dating in situations where I've dated people having their own space, it's always been the best. I've lived with people, I've dated with them having their own place. I've been married, and out of all of it, to me, the superior, for me personally, I can't speak for everyone else, but the superior is when I can go home, or I could be like, all right, babe, like I need you to go home. You know what I mean? Like it's always great for me when I can have a control over my space as an individual, and she can have her space as an individual. And it's dope for me to be able to enter her space and it'd be like a separation, and I feel free from my space. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I could leave all of the shit that's going on in my space alone and enter her space. You know what I mean? On top of that, just a part of me doesn't feel like a man is supposed to live with a woman. I feel like the marital home that a lot of men live in with their wives, I feel like the nest is for the woman and the children. And I feel like when you live in the nest with your woman, she will eventually see you as one of her children. And I feel like, so a lot of times, you know, marriages, especially, you see them like lose passion, they lose desire. You have these sexless marriages. And I'm of the opinion that that's part of the reason why. Living together, having that familiarity, she starts seeing you as one of her kids, something to control, you know, and then you start just becoming a utility to her. You're not like the object of her desire anymore. But if you're not in the house and you got your own place and you're doing your own thing, I guarantee you that won't be the same situation. When you show up to the house, it'll be like, oh my God, my man's here. But when she's seeing you at home all the time and has easy access to you, it's not the same, which is why a lot of time the dating stage is so much more passionate than when people actually commit and end up living together. So me personally, I don't think what Kiki's saying is crazy. I think that it could work for a lot of people, but again, it's not for everybody.
Well, I got a couple things. So I think the reason that I think the reason that we don't like people speaking after a breakup is because people generally, from what I find, have very poor problem solving skills, and they tend to jump to crazy solutions, like, oh, I just don't want to live with a nigga no more, like things like that. And especially women, right? I'm not cooking for a nigga till I get married. Like what? What? That's your solution? Like no, it's like they just come up with crazy things. But I know for me personally, if I don't, I'm very, I don't know if I want to say territorial, but like I own my woman. If I had two women, I own both of them. Like I need y'all in my house. If you're not in my, if you don't live in my house, then it's like, yo, like I can just fuck you. Why you gotta be my girl? Like I can just fuck you. Like why do you have to be my woman? I don't know, but that's just sound way too independent for me. Like you belong to me. You won't be in my bed every night. You know, yeah, I don't know. That just it's way too independent for me.
So if I'm hearing you correct, you're essentially saying if she's not in close proximity to you, you don't feel like you own
her. Either that or I just don't want to. Like maybe I don't know. I'll have to process it, but that might be what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I got a different idea. I mean, so in this particular situation, I feel like it's a trauma response, right? Because maybe in her prior relationship, she probably felt like she was being smothered and just wanted to do the hell out of her face, right? So that's just another reason why I would never really listen to somebody who's rebounding or coming out of a toxic situation or whatever. However, I don't think that is weird just because she wants to have different living quarters, right? But I never really see people say that like in their first situation ever cohabitating. That's the only thing about it. That's why I say like it's probably a trauma response. I never see people go their first situation like that. But I do think that space could be a good thing. It depends on the dynamic of your relationship. A lot of times we really feel like people are just supposed to be monolithic. Everybody should do things a certain way. There's different dynamics to a relationship. Some people do like more space. Some people like their own quarters. So I don't feel like that's weird to me as long as both parties are on the same page. I don't think you have any less control over a person or whatever. Sometimes just the type of work you do just doesn't give you the time to like be around somebody all the time. You might just really want to do what you do in your zone and not be like that. But then I could understand why some people just want to be up underneath each other. Some women just want to live in your coat and you just wanted to live there. And there's nothing wrong with that either. It's just for the reasons that you're doing it. If it's more of a personality trait, if it's more of how you get down, then that's fine. As long as you find a person who is compatible with you, who's on the same page, then why the hell does anybody else have to care about it?
It sounds like some Jada and Will shit to me.
What?
Just like the
Jada and Will live together.
Just some modern, like, oh, you know, we don't gotta do this, we don't gotta do that. We spiritually connected, and we just going, you know, we don't gotta listen to other people. We just gonna go do our own thing. It feel like some Jada, feel like some Gabrielle Union would do.
Yeah, but it still could be structured though. You don't feel like it could still be structured either way. But your structure is I have this space. For some people, it might be a different wing of the house. For some people, it might you got a separate house, but I do what I want to do here.
Yeah, I think that's the leap because the assumption being made is that like that people who live separately are spending less time together just because they don't live together. Like you could spend every day with somebody and not live with them. They could spend most nights together and still both own their own places. It doesn't mean that they don't, like, it doesn't mean that just because you have your own space, that means we can't sleep in the same bed, we can't have dinner together, we can't like spend time together. Like that's ridiculous. Like the relationship would function the same way it did if you live with the person, except if you want to, you can go to your own place. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not really that. It's not what people are making it like. And on top of that, Trev mentioned something about trauma response. It's like we often mention trauma responses, and I think that we always frame a trauma response as it's bad. But it's like, listen, if you were speeding and you got in an accident, you know not to speed again. That's a trauma response. If you touch the stove and burn your hand, that's a trauma response. You know not to touch the stove anymore. Sometimes people get in relationships and they have new experiences and they learn from those experiences. And what you're framing as a trauma response is just based off of them having new knowledge or new experiences that you don't have. Like maybe you haven't experienced being like smothered by someone, right? So you haven't experienced that. So for you, the idea of living with somebody and being around them 24/7 sounds beautiful until you date that person that smothers you. then you finally have the same knowledge that they have, and then you understand why somebody would want to live separately. You get what I'm saying? So it's really just a matter of experience. Every trauma response isn't like a bad thing, you know. That's adaptation.
So I was only going by her sentiment. I was only going by her sentiment and how it sounded like for what she said and how she said it. It just seems as if she could never see that idea again, right? Maybe it's what she thought she wanted and doesn't want now, but it really seems like something hit home, like something really happened to her where she just like, nah, never again. I don't want to be around anybody anymore. So for you to just have some type of a life-changing event like that, I would say, yeah, for you to change your entire plan for life, to me, it seems like a trauma response for her to do a 180 like that.
I would argue all trauma responses are to some degree bad things. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about just like gathering data and just learning and moving accordingly, Clout. However, I think trauma responses tend to be overly overcorrect, right? I think they tend to be reaches versus like just something that like makes sense. Like a trauma response is like, okay, I got burnt by fire. You know, every time I'm around fire, like I feel away and I pull, like I can't be around fire again, right? Versus just like, oh, I'm just not going to touch it, you know?
I mean, I could understand that in a situation where a person develops like a phobia, like a person's like, oh my God, I'm scared of fire now. But if someone was playing with fire and they got burnt and they're like, I'm not going to play with fire anymore. Like, you can't just be like, oh, well, what, you scared of playing with fire because your trauma response? Like, yeah, nigga, I got burnt. You haven't been burnt yet. So like, you haven't been burnt. So of course you think it's silly that I don't want to play with fire no more because you're having fun with fire. You ain't been burnt yet. But when you feel that burn that I felt, you're probably not going to want to play with fire neither. You get
yeah, but deciding not to play with fire anymore I wouldn't consider that a trauma response. You know, I think that's just an intelligent thing to do versus a trauma response is like, yo, you know, I was playing with a gun and it went off, and now I'm like, I'll never touch a gun again. I think that's a trauma response.
I think you're gauging the extremity, meaning like you're making it that they have to have extreme reaction for it to be a trauma response. But a trauma response is a response to trauma. That's what it is. So if you get burned and decide not to touch the stove again, that's a trauma response. The trauma is what created the response. The trauma of being burned changed your pattern, which your pattern before was touching stoves. Now your pattern is I'm not going to touch the stove, or you're going to think twice before you do it.
But trauma responses are involuntary. They're not something. It's your nervous system saying this is dangerous, even though your brain knows it's not. There is no trauma response from being burnt by a stove unless it's something severe, like you get a full body burn. We use trauma responses just for not liking shit. These women don't like living with men because they feel like they have to give up too much of their autonomy and they want to have their own space and be independent while in a relationship. And then if we sit here and like have this circular conversation and then call it a trauma response, that's not what it is. Like, we got to leave this therapist language for the women. Like, this is their bag because they use these words all willy-nilly just when it makes them feel good and makes them sound whole. And as men talking about women, that's not a trauma response she has. She got a bunch of money and can do shit her own way. So she wants to live in her own home. If you see women talking about this type of stuff and they're saying they want to stay in a separate house from the man that they love, they just really don't like him enough. They don't like him more than they like being independent and having their own space. Because in a traditional or a healthy relationship, you spend time together. If I'm at my house for 8 hours a day and you're at your house for 8 hours a day and we only spend 8 hours, we spend 8 hours together, we are definitely spending less time together because we live in two homes. And then the majority of these women don't want to go 50-50. So if I bet you these women who were, cheerleading this shit in the comments or on that video were thinking that man is going to have to pay for two households, which is unrealistic because most of us can't do that.
I don't know. I think it's a flawed assumption to assume that if people live separately, they spend less time. There's people who are married and live in the same house.
It's mathematically impossible to spend the same amount of time. I can explain how. If you have two people in one house and you have two people in two houses, unless they don't spend any time at the other house and they don't spend any time separate, then that means that having two houses is a moot point.
But you're not factoring in the distance that they live from each other. You're not factoring in their work schedules. You're not factoring
none of those
in
things
their
matter.
careers.
It's about
No, all of those things matter. So, for example, you can live with somebody in one household, but they could work nights and you work during the day. So you guys see each other out. You guys see each other an hour or two for the day. Now you could live separately from somebody, but you guys have the same work schedule. So every night after 6 o'clock. I mean, y'all both get off at 4:30. Y'all could spend every night from 4:30 to 9 p.m. just chilling, and then at maybe y'all don't sleep well together. So after 9 p.m. y'all go home. Y'all are spending way more quality time together than the people that live together. Which is why I say things like this, you can't look at it with a broad lens because it's nuanced. Everybody is different, and everybody has a different work schedule, different requirements, different sleeping patterns. So you can't just make the assumption that because two people don't live together, they're spending less time together.
But you brought up a perfect example. That's the problem. You're comparing two people who live together but have different work schedules than two people who don't live together and don't have different work schedules. Like you got to make the comparison the same. If your wife has her own home and you have your own home, you guys are not spending the same amount of time together. Even because the moment that she goes home, you're spending less time together than Mont and his girlfriend who live together. It's just
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I got a lady
saying that somebody who works overnight and one person works during the day. You can't compare those two things because they live in the same house.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example in a real world situation. I have a lady I'm dating. We don't live together, right? I have friends that are married. They have 4 kids. One of them is in CDL school right now, and she works full time. I guarantee you, I spend more time communicating with my lady than they spend with each other, and they live together.
Communicating, we're talking about together, not
communicating. What I'm saying is that's my point. My point is we spend more time connecting, even though we're not in the same physical space.
The goal isn't connecting; it's about spending time together. That's the best.
What I'm saying is,
Claude, what you just did wrong was you compare your
hold on,
compare your schedule.
Let me finish my scenario first. Let me finish the scenario first before you respond. Being physically in the same space is not the only way to spend time with somebody and to build a relationship with somebody. So what I'm saying is, right? I just gave you an example of how I don't live with somebody, but probably get more quality time with that person because of the way my schedule is, because of the way their schedule is. I probably get more quality time with this person than a lot of people that live together and have responsibilities such as children, such as their jobs, such as bills. A lot of married, we're pretending as if everybody that lives together or that's married spends a lot of time together all the time. Like they're spending 8 hours a day together, and we know that's not real.
That's not the argument anybody's made.
You throwing in a scenario with kids though.
My point is that I'm showing you different scenarios because life is nuanced. Everybody don't got the same life.
I understand, but you use your comparison was with a man, a family with kids, a married people with kids. Of course, that's even more or less time. So you're talking about your scenario is hoping they don't have kids. These individuals don't have kids, you know what I'm saying? And then they could spend time together, even if though they don't live together. That's what you're hoping. But what if they do? So now that's even less time.
And Claude, like the flow that you're making,
it requires you to make an assumption, though. Like you have to assume that they're spending more time together. With no consideration.
No assumption is needed because Claude, and even in your scenario, right? Even though you compare 2 different lifestyles, which is crazy, right?
Everybody has a different lifestyle. That's the point of my illustration.
If you lived with the woman that you're currently spending a lot of time with, you would spend more time with her, right? Because you live in different places. And check this out: if the family that you just talked about live separately, they would spend even less time together. That's the point. In each scenario, if you live together, you spend more time with each other. For the vast majority of situations.
Everything y'all are saying though is an assumption. It's not a fact. There are people that
reasonable and sensible, but it's not 100%.
What I'm saying is, in order for that to become a fact, it requires you to ignore all nuance. You would have to assume that everybody has the same desires, everybody has the same work schedule, everybody has the same amount of kids, everybody has the same wants, and that's not the case. I'm just saying that you can't assume that because 2 people don't live together that they somehow are spending less time together or have less of a quality.
It's reasonable to assume it.
It's basic math.
But the thing is, it's not necessarily reasonable to assume that.
No, it is.
Why do you feel it's reasonable?
Because it's basic.
So I can tell you why.
For example, I know people who spend more time with their coworkers than they spend with their family, but they live with their family. So how does that make sense?
No, I get that. So
I got a question.
All I'm saying is, all I'm trying to illustrate is that living with somebody is not in any way, shape, or form a guarantee that you spend a lot of time with them or that you spend a lot of quality time with them. That's the only point I'm really.
No, I
it's
get that.
probable.
So when I brought up my point, I was talking about the scenario at hand. And if you listen to what she said when they had the 2 toothbrushes together and shit like that, she's not with that. The whole point of having a separate dwelling is to do what? Just to have it? No, to be able to get away from that person that you probably don't want to be around all the time.
Yeah, nobody wants to be around anybody all the time.
I think that's a huge excuse, man. I think it's an excuse.
Not being around together all the time doesn't mean that you're not spending time together. That's all I'm saying.
No one said that though. You're arguing a point no one has made.
He literally just said that, but okay.
I just think it's an excuse.
Nobody
bro.
made that point. We're saying that you're saying that living together doesn't mean you're living apart doesn't mean you're going to spend less time together, and it mathematically does.
It doesn't
unless somebody's never at their house. Unless somebody just has an empty house.
It would only.
It's mathematic, bro.
The only way you could mathematically prove that is if you know how many hours a person spends home. And how many hours do most people spend home? Not a lot.
Okay, here, let's use your
example. When you're sleeping, you're not spending time with somebody when you're sleeping.
Yes, you absolutely are.
Yes,
So
that's some of the best time I spend with my woman is bedtime.
Are you
when you're asleep and you're having a dream and she's asleep and having a dream, that's not you can't ever say that that's more quality time than two people who are having a conversation.
That's not the argument about quality time. It's about time in general. But are you done before I respond? I don't want you interrupting me.
Go ahead.
So the reason it's mathematically impossible to say that it's not going to cause people to spend less time together is because, again, if you go home, if say we'll use your example, you and your girl spend all day talking together. Now imagine how much more time you would spend together if y'all live together. But because you don't live together, you're not spending time together. You talking to her is not time together. It's a conversation. Living with someone is being in their presence. That's what being the time together is. So a couple you and your girl who live together spend more time than yourself than you and your girl that don't, because there's 24 hours in a day. If you spend 6 hours together because y'all live together, go to work, come back home, go to sleep, that's your regular day. But when you live apart, you spend 6 hours, you spend 4 hours together because it takes an hour to get to your house, 30 minutes to get to your house, 30 minutes to go do whatever she wants to do, and she goes back home to get ready for school or get ready for work. You are spending less time together. It's just it's a mathematical equation. It's not complicated.
So I see where the disconnect is. I'm defining because we're talking about relationships here, right? So I'm defining
we're talking about time.
Hold on. We're talking about relationships. So I'm defining time together as in quality time, time shared. That's what I'm talking about. When I say time together, I don't mean necessarily physically in the same space. The point I'm trying to make is that you can share more time with someone without living together. Like, you don't have to live with someone to share a lot of time with them. That's not a realistic thing. You're assuming that just because you live with them, you spend more time with them. But there are a lot of people who live together who don't spend a lot of time together. But having the same address does not automatically mean that you have the same interests, that you have the same desires, and that you have the same schedule. And that's all. I'm just making that point. You guys are leaving out all nuance when you're making your point, and that doesn't exist in the real world. People have different lifestyles, different schedules, and different lives. And when you bring that into account, then it is very possible that two people who don't live together could spend more time together than two people who live together, especially when you throw in things like kids and responsibilities of family life. But I'm gonna land there.
All right, go ahead, Trevon.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just honestly think it's an excuse, man. If there's an argument to be made about, I don't want this person in my space and I don't want the two brushes together and all that kind of stuff, like I think it's for other reasons other than what she's stating. Like, there's plenty of things that you can do to where a wife and a husband or a girl, whatever your situation is, that y'all can create time to be away from each other. There's plenty of scenarios to do that. If he got friends, I'm sure she got friends. If you a busy dude and you got things going on and you got motion, like there's plenty to do other than just be up under the house, up underneath each other. So she making it sound like y'all just gonna be in the house up underneath each other 8 hours a day or whatever the case may be. I mean, by nature, like, we got to go to bed, so that's 6 to 8 hours right there. But throughout the day or throughout the week, throughout the weekend, y'all not just about to be at the crib on the couch hugged up. Like, y'all both got shit to do.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna go to Hink, but before I do, let me just play it one more time.
No, is that I never want to live together.
Pretend we're on a first date.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, Kiki, yeah, do you want the steak? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And So do you want kids?
I could be open, but one thing I need you to know is that I never want to live together. I like my alone time.
But is that real?
That's real.
Oh, wait, are you speaking as Kiki?
Yeah,
right
I'm
now?
speaking as
She's
the Kiki. I just feel like, Whoopi Goldberg said it best once. She was like, I don't want nobody in my house.
Yeah.
Wait,
And I just feel that.
Time out. You're for real right
Yeah,
now?
she's for real.
Serious.
So what about,
Marry even.
So
You'll
he's
marry-
going to live around the corner?
Around the corner would be great. We can be in a guest house, you know what I'm saying? We can be on the same, land, but I'm over there and he's over there.
Yeah.
At best, separate rooms.
So what about, you go to the bathroom, you have the 2 toothbrushes?
Think about how fun it would be to be like, I'm going over to my man's house.
Yeah.
Over there.
It's over there.
You know what's
It's
right?
fun and
funny.
exciting. I want to go sit on his couch.
And he better clean when you're coming over.
That's what
too.
I'm saying.
You know
It
what?
seems
I will
fun.
say I'm laughing about it, but there are probably people watching right now who agree with you. And I said the 2 toothbrushes, and she's like, nope.
Yeah, that's like the grossest.
Go ahead.
Yeah, look, damn, I don't have no problem with us just dating and living apart. I did that. Me and my wife did that before we got together. She lived in an apartment. I lived in my house. But once we got married, all that shit stopped. We was in the same house. There's no way out. Financially, you're balling backwards. If you're married and living in 2 different residents, why would you do something like that? You can sit there, sell that house or rent it out. Either way. Why would anybody want to do something like that? And as a man, you got to be the logical one in the relationship and make that make sense to her, that doesn't financially make sense for y'all to live in 2 separate residences. Look, I mean, if you living in a shack, a small apartment, a fishy apartment, that's the only way, you probably don't have space in most people's homes. I got a whole office right here. If I want to get away from my wife, and when I want to get away from my wife, I'll come to my office. If I have to, I'll go downstairs to my basement. And I chill, I relax. She's upstairs in the bedroom, one of the other bedrooms, just to get away. Or in the kitchen or doing whatever she need to do. But if you need space like that, then do that. Go do your thing. Go out, go have a spa day, whatever. But what I look like living in 2 different beds with my wife. If that's how she wants it, I'm not going to marry you. We're not going to be married. We're going to just be main girlfriends, or you just going to be an ass call. And I'm going to go to your house for 20 minutes and get the hell on. I'm not going to bless you with my last name. Why? You don't want to be as 1. You want to be as 2. And if that's the case, we could forever be girlfriend or boyfriends, whatever, man. I'm not trying to bring you into my home or make something serious out of you. If that's the decision you're going with.
So, Hank, just before we go to DJ next, I know some people, when they grow old, they get in their ways. And when they get in their ways, they decide at that time that they want to sleep in separate beds. So, hypothetically, what if that happened to one of you guys that's married then with a woman, and she decides that you just need her space? How do you handle a situation like that?
Divorce her. That's how you handle
it. Only way I would do something, if I had some type of medical reason where I need a goddamn hospital bed in my room, and that's not going to fit. That's the only way. I'm not doing that bullshit, JR. I'm not. Shit. That's clown shit to me.
Yep.
Go ahead, DJ.
I remember somebody saying one time, you just want a woman to change her mind, give her what she wants. And I think it's very possible that this is an emotional response that if she actually achieves this, she'll recognize very quickly that there are certain things that she just cannot do because a man isn't there. She can't summon him. She can't ask him for immediate protection. She can't ask for immediate problem solving. It'll become very inconvenient. But I think also she's just unwilling to get past her last situation in order to have some kind of harmony. And she doesn't really realize the consequence of growing old alone. And the reason why I know that is because she mentioned Whoopi Goldberg as an actual inspiration with this. But Whoopi Goldberg most recently admitted she cannot retire because she doesn't have anybody and she has to work every week. So the problem is it's the blind leading the blind and folks not learning lessons of the folks that come before them.
I mean, what if the folks that came before him are people who followed that philosophy, and then 20, 30 years into their marriage ended up divorced and alone and having to live separately anyway and broke and destitute? It's like, I feel like when we get on these panels, we like to pretend there's this fantasy world where relationships work most of the time. Like that's what we like to pretend, as if cohabitation and relationships and marriage always works, when we know in the real world that we live in that most of the time it doesn't work. So why when people have trauma responses to experiencing something that usually doesn't work and they change their strategy, do we act like something's wrong with them instead of realizing that, guess what, people are evolving, they're changing with the times? How many people have been married, got divorced, and lost half of their shit? So there's a lot that goes on. I'm sure it's happened to women. It probably hasn't happened to a lot of women, but I'm sure it's happened to some women.
But I mean, you got to look at the fact that, okay, so let's say with marriage, it's a 50, basically right now it's a 50-50, right? That's a 50-50. It's better than a situation where it's a zero.
But the thing is, I don't know, and this is the problem that's confusing me with the way you guys are framing it. I don't understand why in everyone's mind, if you're not living together, that somehow it's a zero. Like it's almost like you believe that if you don't live together, that you can't have finances together, like that you can't both have a business together, like you can't have a plan, like you can't have time that you spend to date each other, like you can't have like you can't shop together, you can't take care of kids together. We're just talking about you both owning separate living spaces.
Well, I'm looking.
But it's like, you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of assumptions being made about having a separate living space, where the assumption is that somehow the quality of the relationship is going to deteriorate. And I just don't understand why that assumption.
I can give you an example of why the quality of relationship deteriorates, because now that man has to take care of two households. If some shit breaks over there, he got to go over there and fix it. If
a lot of men are taking care of two households already.
That the majority aren't. A few are, but the majority aren't. So again, we're speaking about the majority, not the one-off, not the anecdotal, not the personal, not the shit we saw on Netflix.
That would only be a problem if he's broke, though. That's only a problem if he's broke. If he got money, it's not a problem.
It's the problem because of how much time that man has. You have doubled that man's responsibility by thinking you want to have a second house. Because the way these women want to have a second house
next door to each other.
I'm always gonna let you cook, bro. I'm not gonna interrupt you. Pay me that same respect.
You got it.
So the first thing is that a woman wants a second house the same way a nigga wants two women. Because now if you're gonna maintain two households, at least he gets something out of it. He gets nothing out of maintaining that household for her, because he's responsible for it financially under the relationship structure that most women want, which is a man to protect and provide for them. So now he got to get in his car, hop up, and something goes bumping at night because her stupid ass dog knocked something down. So he got to go over there and clear the house, and he lived 15 minutes away. He got to get dressed. Like, you guys don't respect time, and that's the major issue with this conversation, is that people don't either understand time, the mathematics of that there's 24 hours in a day, or that anything you add extra to a man in a relationship is a burden for him. What benefit does a man have by having to have one woman and maintain the same shit that he was doing on his end and all of her stuff? She can be independent, and her independence comes at a cost of that man's time and his, I would probably say, peace, because it's difficult enough to maintain one home with a woman in it. It's even harder to maintain your home and a woman the home she lives in. That's crazy.
Hold on. If a woman has her own house and I have my own house, how is her house now my responsibility? Like,
because that woman is your responsibility.
Sure, the woman's my responsibility, but what I'm saying is I can be responsible for the woman without being responsible for her house. You know what I mean?
You can never tell that woman, girl, that's your shit. I ain't taking care of that. You can't tell her that.
Yeah,
absolutely. You can. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man.
The average guy.
You could, but would there be any harmony? Would there be peace?
I think the type of woman, is this your wife or your girlfriend? I think the type of woman who wants to maintain her own living space while in a committed relationship probably does not expect you to maintain her living space.
I think
that's a big assumption.
Yeah, I think that's a huge assumption, and I'm glad Cloud is on the panel. I think he's creating kind of I'm assuming, based on what I've heard, he seems to be the only one that has the mindset of more of a fluidity within the relationship. But I haven't heard anybody talk about what I got from this clip was that where's her buy-in? Like, She wants the best of both worlds. And I think that as men, we understand that the trade of the world is exchange. If I'm going to give something, I'm going to get something. I'm not just going to benefit, and I'm not going to manipulate a situation where I get all the benefits, but then I'm not sacrificial in no capacity. I can't respect that. I can't respect that from any person that calls himself an adult, especially a woman. So to me, she's painting a negative narrative. It's cute to maybe entertain, to be like, oh, everybody's not like this. Most people are very similar in temperament. Most people want the best of things. Now, if you as a person want to create a manipulated relationship that benefits you, great. But I think it's very dangerous to paint that as something that most people should try to achieve. One, it creates all this discourse that we're going over now. Relationships are not hard. They're actually very simple. Relationships do not work. People just don't want to learn how to manage what is necessary to make them work. And so basically, when I heard her say this, it's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. So you, first of all, say you don't want someone in your house. You are dismissing this man's position in your life. I have a problem with that. And if you don't want that person to be close, then cool. Don't try to attach yourself to something noble like marriage and then flip it and say, but then go to your home. I can't. It's not. Go ahead, Clive.
No, I'm just raising my hand to let you know that I want to say something, but you keep on. I don't want to interrupt you.
For sure. It's not her relationship. Until women start proposing to men, you can't have that type of position, in my opinion. I don't care how much money you make. And that's the issue I have, that where's your buy-in? Because we all would know that as men, when we approach a relationship, when we give her, hey, this is what I want from you, there's something we're expected to give, but we're also looking to receive something. From what she delivered, she's not looking to really give up anything, but she definitely wants the cutesy part of it. And that was the issue I have with what she said.
True, that take was a 10 out of 10.
See, I hear what you're saying, True, but for me, because you said you don't see the benefit of it for the guy, like you said, you don't see the buy-in. Now, for me, based off of the type of person I am, right? Because again, everybody's not the same. Like, I could see the benefit of dating someone like that. Why? Because I don't want my apartment to look feminine. Like a lot of men are okay living in a house that's designed by their woman. Everything looks the way she wanted to look, and they're cool with that. Happy wife, happy life. I don't want my place to look feminine. I want my place to look the way I design it. If I want to have posters on the wall, I want to have posters on the wall. I make music. If I want to blast music in the studio or record music for 2 or 3 days straight, I want to be able to do that without having to worry about how she's going to feel about it, if I'm disturbing her sleep, if I'm bothering her, XYZ. I like to clean my place. That's something I do for peace of mind. I don't want to have to divvy up the chores and decide clean it when she feels like it needs to be clean. If I want to leave it messy when it's messy, I want to leave it that way. I don't want to have somebody nagging me, telling me, oh, make the bed, clean up the bathroom, whatever, take out the garbage. I want to do it when I feel like it. So for me, the idea of a woman who wants to maintain her own space that's not mine, to me, that's actually exciting, because it allows me to have a space that's entirely mine without having to deal with anybody nagging or telling me how to live. And it also allows me an escape. I could leave my house and go into her feminine realm where she can have the fucking floral tablecloths and whatever and make it as girly as she wants and burn her candles. And she'll be entitled to have that without having me disturbing that space. And it allows me to be able to have a feminine space to enjoy, not muddled by my masculine energy. And she now has access to a masculine space that's not muddled by her feminine energy. On top of that, to me, it would make dating a lot more exciting. We could date at her crib. Like, she could cook dinner some nights. I could cook dinner some nights. You know what I mean? To me, it makes things exciting. It's like we, instead of having one bed to sleep in where we get bored every night smashing in the same bed, now I got 2 beds to smash in. Now I got 2 couches to smash on. Now we got 2 showers to shower in. So it's like exciting. Maybe some mornings I wake up in her bed and she cook breakfast. Some mornings she wake up in my bed and I cook breakfast. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's also great because we can continue to maintain a great relationship. You could spend a week at my house if you want, a month, but at least whenever you feel like it, you got your period, you need a little space, whatever. I got a project I got to work on. You don't have to worry about disturbing my circadian rhythm. I don't have to worry about disturbing yours. So I can understand how maybe you don't see the value in that, but I think there's a lot of men that might see value in that.
So you might as well go to get you a little sex dungeon or something. When she acting naughty, just tell her to go to the dungeon.
You see what I'm saying? You could make it exciting. You could have fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
She got her,
you can get your
she got her car. I could go to her crib and pick her up some nights. You know what I mean? She could pull up to my. It gives you a lot of variety, and to me, that makes a relationship spicy. It makes it exciting. I think a lot of relationships get mundane and boring. You start living with the person, you know everything about them, you know their every movement, you know when they wake up, you see them when they're at their worst and they got crust in their eyes. I don't want to see you all the time when you got crust in your eyes. I want to see you looking. I want to see you get all dressed up and done up to come see me. And when you show up at my door, it's like, God damn, you know what I mean? And I want to have that same.
You're not gonna see that when
hold on,
she
y'all.
starts.
I know True was trying to get in there.
So that's all I'm saying. So I can see value in that. So that's all. I just want to offer that. Some men might see value in it.
Go ahead, Drew.
Yeah, I can respect what you're saying, Clout, and I can respect it because you kind of echoed the same sentiment, right? But basically, I'm just speaking to again from a man's perspective and what I believe to be men in this panel. I think, and I'll speak even maybe for myself. I really take a opposition of a woman thinking she can now determine how my relationship with her is going to go. That's my hard line. There's very few things that us as men get to define. Relationships is one of them. Now we have women who, for whatever reason, believe that because they've ascended to a certain level of notoriety, that they can now determine how this is going to go. You're never going to determine how this goes in my life. Me, period.
Oh, yeah,
now,
sure.
Yeah, and some men may be cool with that. I personally, because when I'm looking at it, from what even the men were sharing, there's so much more. It's not just the living of space. I think we're kind of watering it down to make it seem like it's square footage. It's so much deeper than that. I need to know your buy-in, and what you're pretty much telling me is that you want to borrow the privilege of me, and you want to miss the inconvenience of me. When if I'm choosing to be with you, I'm choosing all of it. I'm choosing the discomfort. I'm choosing some of the feminine energy. I'm choosing some of your boring stories, all of the above. That is what it is, in my opinion, to be an optimal developed man, because you understand that there's going to be give and take, investment and return. If a woman don't get that, in my honest opinion, she's a waste of a woman. And that may work on a cute level, but I think in mass, I just don't see it being something that you could scale.
Yeah, Clark, you could just get a bigger crib and do role play with your girl. You good.
Clark, what if your girl makes less money than you? And now, so you the one with the bread and she got a small bag. So she got a 1-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom house, whatever. But you got to send a big 5-6 bedroom, 5,000 square feet, half-acre front yard, 6-acre backyard. There's no realm in which that woman is still not going to want to come be in your space, because your space, as it should be, everything about you as a partner is bigger and better than her. So and you understanding having that space, you're not going to want to stay in that rinky-dink small ass house or apartment either, because you're used to having space. Nothing that you said that you value about living on your own can't be done in a home with a woman. You just have to have that conversation and take the lead. But what I do understand about you is that you don't value relationships the way that the average man do.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, you don't value traditional relationships the way that the average man does. And there's nothing wrong with that. But everything you said you wanted to do, if a woman flipped that, no man on this panel would date that woman. If she said, well, I want to go to my house so I can be girly, I can do the girl stuff, I can have girls nights with my partner, my girlfriends, I can listen to, saying niggas ain't shit music all day. If a woman told any of us that, we wouldn't even pay her no mind as far as any type of romantic interest.
Yeah, I would
hear what you're saying, but it's not that I don't value relationships,
traditional relationships,
or it's not that I don't value traditional relationships, because I've done it. I've been married. I married young because I value traditional relationships. What happened is I value traditional relationships so much, and I kept trying them over and over and over. I've lived with women, many women, different women I've lived with. Like, this is not like, I'm not speaking from a lack of experience. Like, I've always just been against this. I'm speaking from experience. After doing it multiple times, I've come to the conclusion that even though I valued it, it doesn't work. And I think that a lot of what men claim to want in relationships is really coming from an insecure place. What it is that a lot of niggas are terrified that if their woman don't live under them, that they can't keep her. And so what it is they need her to be close by so they can keep an eye to make them feel secure. And that's what the real issue is. It's not really that you can't have a strong quality relationship with a woman that lives in a separate space. It's just that not a lot of people are secure enough to do that. People are always going to be worried that somebody's knocking down their wife. Some women are not secure enough to do that. They're worried that the guy got somebody else. And that's what always comes up when conversations like this come up. Oh, well, why would they want to live separate? They must want to do something nefarious. And it's like, people are individuals. And I'm just a person who's come to the acceptance that that's not going to change just because you claim to be in a relationship with someone. And I think that's how so many people get hurt in relationships, because they genuinely believe that just because we put a title on this, we put a ring on this, and we live in the same space, that somehow the nature of you being an individual and me being an individual is going to change. They think that we're just somehow going to become one, and it doesn't exist. The two people being one thing doesn't exist. People are always going to be individuals. And me, I value that individualism. I value individuals being in relationships together. I don't value the idea of two individuals becoming one, because I think it's a myth. I think it's a farce. Yeah. I've seen history has shown that it does not work. Most people who have been married have been divorced at some point. Most relationships end at some point. Most situations where people cohabitate, they end up breaking up and moving out. And we keep trying to repeat the cycle and repeat the cycle and repeat the cycle, and it just ends in more heartbreak. And we constantly ridicule people who challenge it and say, maybe this doesn't work, and let's try to do something alternative to what everyone's been doing for the past 100 years and hasn't been working. We have a whole genre of R&B that exists. Why? Because traditional relationships don't work. They lead to heartbreak. They lead to divorce. They lead to men killing themselves. This is the real reality. And as much as everyone's so gung-ho for traditional relationships because it makes them feel good, because that's what they were taught their whole life to value, it doesn't change the facts that the statistics show it does not work in the sense that y'all want it to. And people like me, and I think people like Kiki, we're not trying to tell everybody that they need to follow that path. We're simply trying to challenge the status quo. And I think that a lot of people are not willing to try to challenge it. They want the comfort of it being what they think it is, even though it's not that.
You know, all of those things can happen. Even you're married, living separately, you can still suffer those same situations. It doesn't make any difference. You just live in a different residence when you get divorced.
Yeah,
I still fall for the same goddamn bullshit. Doesn't matter.
So I just want to look it up.
Damn. Yo, see that they say my next.
Oh, well,
let 5 people go.
We understand, man. Go ahead, big boy. Don't get your rocks off.
You know, Clout. I think you can appreciate this, right? I think some people are just not good at relationships, right? And I think that's okay. But I think people should admit it, right? You don't want to share. You mentioned a couple things like we can spice for lack of better terms. We can spice it up. You know, I'm not going to get bored, right? I think that's typically something that immature women say. It's like, like they can get bored with a person. Like I can't get bored with a human being. I can't get bored with my woman. I can't get bored with my relationship. I haven't said I was bored since I was a kid, right? And I don't plan on never saying I'm bored again for the rest of my life. It's just not a thing that an adult says. I don't think so. But I think people are just not good at relationships. They're not good at sharing. And they just should admit it. Like you don't want to share a space. And that's okay. But my thing is, I wasn't about to allow my woman to I would never allow my woman to just to stay in that space. No, you got to learn. You know, I know you're the only child. You got to learn to be in a relationship. You got to learn to share. You got to learn to share space. You know, and I think just a lot of people just have never learned, and they don't plan on learning, and they probably don't have any guidance. And you know, that's probably why the situation that you're talking about, it's probably why they don't work out. Or maybe, and you know, you haven't been able, I think you said you tried it before. It probably didn't work for you because you've never learned to share, and you like your own space. I get it. But you can have a relationship in a house and have your own space in the house. Most men have man caves. I wouldn't say most men, but a lot of men have man caves, and that's their solution to, you know, getting their own space, you know, getting their own, you know, spending time with yourself and stuff like that. Yeah. Go ahead, Clark.
Well, I just wanted to reply to the never learn to share thing. Like I said, I've been in multiple relationships. I've lived with multiple women. I've lived in houses I lived in a house with my wife. Like the thing is, this virtue, people try to make sharing a virtue. Sharing is a virtue for people who don't have shit. When you have your own shit, when everybody has their own shit, sharing isn't a virtue anymore. And that's what I'm trying. So my point is, I'm trying to achieve a place where everyone has their own shit. Because when everybody has their own, they don't have to share. You're trying to make it a virtue to share and be like, oh, well, some people didn't learn to share. Yeah, because some people had their own shit. And I'm just saying it's okay to have your own shit, your own identity, your own personality. Some people don't think it's okay to have their own personality, and they don't even know how to survive on their own. And so the idea of living separate from their partner is like, how will I be me? How will I have an identity? That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's okay to be your own person and have your own stuff and do your own thing. And it's very okay to do that. It's like, I don't get why we have to frame it as you don't know how to share like it's kids on the fucking playground. It's like, you can share if you want to, but you don't have to share. If he has a truck and I have a truck, what we need to share trucks for?
It's not the fact that you
got
don't
a
have
truck,
to
I
do
got a
it.
truck.
It's that you're
The
saying that you
only
can't
reason
do it.
No, I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm saying I don't want to do it. I've done it and I don't see the benefit in doing it. There's no good in doing it. It's just people keep deluding themselves to believe that it's good.
But you said it doesn't work. You said it doesn't work. You said we tried it for so long. It's a failed thing. It's a failed system. You don't believe in, becoming one and all that type of stuff. You were pretty much saying that like, yo, we challenging the status quo because it's not working. It doesn't work. It's not a long-term solution.
Yeah, I mean, this entire space we're in right now, this red pill or whatever you want to call it, this manosphere space, most of it exists because it's not working. But I don't know why every time we get on these,
because of modernism, but not because of traditional relationships.
But the thing is, go ahead.
This didn't happen until folks started thinking that they could live individually and it actually worked. That's what actually has not worked. Individualism has not worked for people in general. For the most part, individualism just has two people paying more bills. So for most folks, because a partnership helps them out in multiple different ways, it creates less work. It creates more family. It creates more stability for that family that will eventually become a part of the community. So individualism doesn't necessarily build community. Family is more probable to do so. That's why we're talking about her the way that we're talking about her, because what she's trying to do doesn't normally work. Also, like Willie was saying earlier, most men are not going to take that deal. We have to also look at her particular part of the dating market. She's going to be more than likely not looking at anybody, quote unquote, regular again. Nobody in her particular sphere is going to go for that deal unless they're just business booty calls. She's not going to be, it's not probable for her to get the kind of relationship that she's looking for and somebody just go for it, because she's going to be dealing with men of status, unless she's going to be paying for men of lesser status. That's the trade. She's going to trade off some kind of way.
I don't know. Like all I'm hearing is kind of like scarcity mindset. Like because we're talking about. I just want to say this one thing. I just feel like it's scarcity mindset, because we're talking about, oh, it's more bills having two properties. It's funny how when they both have a separate property, we talking about the bills. But if it was a family that had a summer home and a house in California, and they had a cottage and they had multiple mansions, nobody would be talking about the man being spread too thin to have to pay for multiple households. Then if they had multiple cars, nobody would be saying that then. But the concept of a woman having an apartment on one part of town, 15 minutes away from her man's apartment, 15 minutes away, that is like spreading too thin. To me, it's just like, it's ridiculous. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's ridiculous if you only look at the money part of it. It's not just the money.
No, but I didn't bring up the money.
It's the work, it's the protection.
All right, we gotta get Hank now.
I didn't bring up the money. Y'all did.
Mute Hank.
That was Hank.
Yeah, I brought up the money thing. I'm always thinking about money. I don't never not think about money. So yeah, I know I brought it up, and it's definitely gonna be a thought in my mind. If my wife has a whole different resident over, and like we said, I got to take care of both residents. Like I said, I got to fix shit. I got to correct shit. I got to make sure everything's good. Make sure you say, and if I got to do all that for some totally different resident, that's a problem for me. Now I'm wasting my time for whatever I'm already doing, trying to be out here making money or being busy doing what I need to do. I got to go all the way over a different residence, 30 minutes away, in order to address whatever I need to address. And it's probably nothing, more than likely. She heard some noise, like Willie said, that something fell over. Now I got to repair or fix something, whatever the case may be. I got to address it. Now I got to come out, pull my pistol, encourage my wife, Call the police. It's going to take me 30 minutes to get there to where you live at. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to waste my time going to a different residence for my wife when she should be right there in my presence, secure in our home. Now, my girlfriend, that's fine. I'm not going to move in with my girlfriend. If you're just talking about that, Cloud, and just being a girlfriend, boyfriend, I can dig that. I'm okay with that. Because I'm not going to take care of a residence over. I'm not paying for shit. I'm not going to do anything for that place because it's not mine. Once she belongs to me, when she got blessed my last name, I take care of everything. There's no question. But if my wife said to say, I want to live in my own space, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? You want to live in your own space? Well, my apartment, bullshit. You don't want to marry me then. You're not going to be with me. I'm not investing in some bullshit like that because I'm not going to be responsible for everything out there that's not under my cover. So if that's what you want, you don't want to be married. And I'm okay with that. Enjoy your single life. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't invest no man to do some shit like that. That sounds crazy to me. As a man, why would I want to be doing that? And so now we both have kids. So now I'm taking away time from her kids because she's got to come see me or whatever, or vice versa. It doesn't make sense. And what if we had kids together? So my son's gonna live over with her, and he's gonna come stay with me. Then why are we married? You just like a baby mama. Yeah, I'm good. I landed.
Keke Palmer got a kid, don't she?
Yeah.
She got one son.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm under the impression that the reason for creating relationships is to create a building block for the cornerstone to create a family, which is to create a home with both parents in it, to be there for the children, to raise them to have productive members of society. So like on a basic aspect of fulfilling the biological aspect of creating children, that's part A. And then if you want to go and do the humane portion of that, then raising them requires you to try and put that extra effort for them. So I can't see how that would be beneficial to separate the parents and have them living in different places. I went and looked up the information because I was curious about this. And it said that the majority of first marriages do not get divorced. And in the eternity of marriage in the United States, 30% have been divorced. So that's not even a majority of that. The cornerstone of building a community is from the family. So it absolutely works. I'm not saying you absolutely have to have a family and you have to do all these things to be a complete human. I'm not putting that on people that want to live single or don't ever want to be married or want to, stay in separate places. But for the majority of us, it makes more sense in community building and building successful families, households, and children that we remain in the same home and we provide both things the mother and the father present to them. And to step away from that is similar to what's Ebony K. Williams when she was talking about impregnating herself, or she impregnated herself intentionally without a father. I made the argument that was intentional parental alienation. Right? Or you're intentionally inflicting harm on the child by saying, I'm going to make sure that the parent is not there. I think this is an extension of that thought process.
All right. Go ahead, Trevon.
Yeah, I'm quick, man. As we talking about two parents being in the same household and raising children to be productive members of society, I just think that a lot of relationships, just in general, period, is a lot of it's turning into convenience. Like a lot of this shit sounds like convenience. It's like I need to have everything catered to me. Everything needs to be the way I need it to be. It needs to be perfect. Let me be in my spaceship or let me be in my corner and you have your corner. And I'm just like, that ain't even the way life works. Like you got to learn how to coexist with people. And so if you got to go to work, if you got to go to the grocery store, if you got to get in your car, and you have to be amongst people and learn how to communicate and coexist with others, why wouldn't you want to do that with a person that you want to do life with? Like what makes that any different? So I actually think it weakens the individuals, to be honest, when you don't have that skill.
All right. We'll go ahead and close this out. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this clip. It's the main topic, and I got a couple more topics on the back end, but gotta get the main topic out the way. When y'all together, but y'all not together. In this particular clip, it's telling a story that I've seen a lot of times play out in reality. So curious to get you guys' perspective on this. I'm gonna go ahead and start running it. Let's get into it.
Hey.
What's up?
Y'all can hear the.
So this why you come pick me up?
Hmm?
You sitting up here watching TV, saying you were busy and you couldn't pick me up from the airport.
I was doing something earlier.
But I told you the time I was coming back.
How was your trip?
So you're just going to, okay, all right. It was cool.
That's good. Did y'all have sex?
What?
Did y'all have sex?
I don't know what you.
I know you were with a woman. You told me you were with your homeboys, but every time I text you, you disappeared around certain times. Now, usually you get back with me eventually, but this is my first time hearing from you since you left. So, did y'all have sex?
No, we didn't.
Terrell, please. You want me to believe you flew all the way up there with a woman and y'all didn't have sex?
I don't want you to believe anything, but even if that was true, I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you anyway.
So you shouldn't tell the woman you're actively having sex with that you slept with someone else? Do I not deserve to know?
We ain't had sex in weeks. Actively, it's kind of crazy.
We actively sleep together.
All right, what's the real issue here?
Why did you lie to me?
Because of this.
Because of what?
I just knew he was going to blow up and make a big deal out of this whole thing about me being on vacation with another woman, a friend at that.
So why didn't you feel comfortable telling me, especially since y'all didn't have sex?
I just told you why.
I really don't understand you. You bring me lunch to my job. You buy me flowers occasionally. You take me on trips, and yet you're doing this for other women?
I do all those things because I care about you, not because I'm obligated to. And no, I don't do those things for other women. I didn't do that for her. She bought her own plane ticket. I bought mine.
And yet y'all slept in the same hotel room. See, that told me everything I needed to know.
All right. Yeah, I did. I slept with her. But that's all it was, a heated moment. But I do all those things because I do love you. Not to mention letting you stay at my house whenever you need to. Being the person that you run to whenever you have your own personal issues. Letting me have dinner with your family every now and then.
Wow. You don't even believe what you're saying is wrong.
I mean, what you want me to say? You already made your decision before I walked up in here.
Because I knew it. I felt it. You've been distant with me, short. You didn't even call me when you landed.
Because I was trying to avoid this exact conversation.
Wow, so you cheat in advance to avoid a fight?
Cheat? We never said. All right.
You do everything a man does when he's in something. But the second accountability shows up, you act brand new. Might as well call it cheating.
This is so funny. We do all this back and forth, but we're not even together. So why are you tripping?
You're right. We're not together. And probably never will be. Don't sit next to me.
Okay, listen. Why do people do this?
Do what?
Be in these types of situations, like us. I absolutely don't want anything serious. You want something serious, but yeah, we just playing it cool. Like it's something that we agreed on.
I never said I was cool with it. I was just matching your energy. You said you didn't want a relationship, but yet you were acting like my man every other day. So I thought you'd come around eventually.
What do you gentlemen think?
Better than Tubi.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't mind his skits. I hate skits, but
He
his
do
skits are
his
pretty good,
thing.
though. I watch his skits; they pretty good. I'm gonna jump in there. I think the real problem, even though it seems like it's all this deep stuff, the real problem is he lied to her. That's it. Don't lie to these women. Tell the truth, because he lied to her, and that's what she was really upset about, because she knew something was going on, and he didn't tell her the truth about it. Had he told her the truth, it wouldn't have been a problem. Tell women the truth.
I think they were both lying though. Like she's lying about how she feels about the situation and what her intentions are. I think that they just have both of them have a poor style of communicating, right? But it's both ways around. Like she should have really said if she was going to feel different, and she probably really didn't want to go into a situation like that, but figured that she would accept it, and like she said, he would eventually come around. So I think that your intentions should be known off rip, what it is you're trying to do, and then you won't end up in no weird ass situation like that.
I think y'all both. Yeah, I think y'all both right. I think you should lie to these women, and to the best of your ability, tell the truth. And to Trell's point, yeah, she lied because she tried to manipulate him into the relationship, but then he lied again. This is the unintentional lie when you well, it is kind of intentional when you say you don't own nothing, but then you operate as if you in a relationship. It's kind of like leading somebody on and finessing them, because your actions is confusing, especially with women. Technically, you did tell her that, but you confused the hell out of them and get them to acting crazy and going through your shit. If he would have kept it pure from the beginning, like Clout was saying, and told her like, "Hey, I'm about to go see my friend," or made it real clear they wasn't together, then I don't think she would have been acting like that. And she would have probably played along with her game longer and only had to blame herself when the shit blew up, because he kept it even trailer with her.
So, M. White, do you feel like he did that as a form of manipulation, like where he would just?
I do think so.
At least breadcrumb her or give her something so he could kind of have that on lock. But because they never really made a title, he could still do him. Technically,
yeah. Because do you see how he sighed what she said, and we'll never be together? He seemed like he cared enough to like appease her to make her think maybe they would be together. If he really ain't want to be with her, when she said that, he should have been like, she shouldn't even had the inclination to try and hint at that shit and then use that as like, okay, well, we'll not. She should have felt like, yeah, of course we never gonna be together. He was clear on that shit, and he been clear on this whole time. This is me putting shit on him that he never said. He never had no intention on this, but he sighed, sat down, tried to appease her. He made it seem like what he like what she was saying was actually what was going on. Like I believe everything, I know it's a skit, but I believe everything she was saying that he led her on to believe, because he kind of did it in the last scene.
Nah, I got to fight back on this one, man. Like, so y'all acting like this is a rent to own type situation. Like they signed some sort of contract and he promised her, like, listen, at the end of this, we're gonna be together. I promise you, baby. He didn't do none of that. She's a grown ass adult. If he say, yo, maybe in the future, I might consider us being together, but right now, absolutely not. Then okay, what does that mean? That means that maybe it might be a chance of us being together in the future, but maybe it's not. You're a grown-ass woman. Like, if you want to fuck around with him, if you want to take your chances and take the leap and, like, you know what, and hedge your bet, then do it. Take a risk. But don't get mad at me when the risk don't pan out. Go do you. You are not a baby.
And I can't agree with that. If he wasn't doing it half-heartedly, then I would say cool. But the fact that he gonna be deceptive about it, act like I'm going with the homies, stand on it, say shit with your chest. If you would have said, yo, I'm about to go check this other little joint out real quick, I'm gonna do what it do, but I'll be back. He ain't doing none of that. He doing it on some punk ass.
Why
shit.
is that her business?
And he wouldn't have to lie about it.
Well, then he should have just said, I'm not telling you what the fuck I'm doing if it's not her business.
That's an option.
He could have just said, yo, I'm going out of town. I'll holler when I get back.
That's an option, right? But also, like, you are allowed to. You are allowed to lie to people when it's not when you don't in situations where, like,
what rule is that?
No, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Like, let's like M White. Say you was my best friend, right? No. Let's check this out. M White, say you was my best friend, right? And you like, yo, man, like, did you fuck Shorty last night? And I'm like, no, right? I don't have to tell you the truth. I'm allowed to lie to you about my personal fucking business.
Let's reverse this. Hold on. Let's reverse this. If you didn't fuck her, you said you did because you wanted to lie about your personal business. Is that okay?
It's okay, but it's lame.
Oh wow,
it's lame as fuck.
I don't think it's necessarily okay, but the reality though is I don't even think she really wanted to be in a relationship with him. I think she just was having that competition anxiety because she knew it was another woman around, and so she was trying to put a little pressure on him. That's all. She was cool with the arrangement. It's just as soon as another joint popped up, now it's like she feeling a little insecure. That's all.
Competition anxiety today is almost key for a man to maintain a relationship with a woman. If she feels like that nigga doesn't have any options, he won't leave, and she doesn't fear losing him, she can act any fucking way she wants to because she's not incentivized to do anything different. The part that I have an issue is that I feel like most lies are for women. Like, I don't think men should lie about anything, and the majority of lies are told, to preserve like a status quo or peace. That's real feminine to me. If like women lie all the time, they'll tell you, say what's wrong, nothing, what you doing, and tell you where you been, what you want to eat, I don't know. Or then when you say you want to eat something or you pick something, like I don't want that. So like they know what they don't want. They don't know what they do. Understanding that in this situation, all he had to do was just tell her, like, look, I'm going on a trip with my friend. If she really liked him, she'd have been like, okay, I'm coming too. One thing I've learned about women in my old age is that when women like a nigga, they lock him down. They don't leave him out here, you know what I'm saying? They do what they can. They put their best foot forward to make sure that man tries to choose them as a one and only. Does it work all the time? Fuck no. But a woman who really liked the man is not letting that nigga go out of town with his homegirl. That's why he lied, because that's the issue I have with him. He took the feminine route about lying about what he was doing.
But Willie, this man also was going to dinner with her parents and letting her live there part time. That's wild, bro.
Because he really,
I didn't even get to that.
He really care about her.
No, I just thought about that. Like,
Yeah,
we got to add that in context. And that's crazy.
Like, I didn't get to that part yet. This is the thing, right? If you have an expectation of someone and you don't communicate that expectation to them clearly and concisely, directly and honestly, you can't be mad if they don't comply with it, if they don't give you what you expect of them, because neither one of them are mind readers. Like, if he could have just told her, like, listen, I'm going out of town with my homegirl. We finna do this, we finna do that, whatever. And then let her make a choice to choose to either deal with the shit or not. But it seems like he knew that she wasn't gonna go for it, and he wanted to keep what he had with her, which is what I think is saying
exactly.
Like, that shit is selfish. Like, those are the types of lies I expect women to tell. I don't think men should ever put a woman in that position, because if he had gave her a choice, she may have chosen to step off, but at the end of the day, she would have respected him so much more for giving her the option to choose instead of making the choice for her.
Now she lost respect.
You know why I don't agree? Because this chick not going nowhere. She's not going nowhere. She's trying to talk about it right now. He's trying to. And I agree with you, Willie. Right? He shouldn't have to lie to her, right? But at the same time, it's his choice to be like, you know what? I'm gonna try and protect her feelings, because I know you're not going nowhere, and I don't want you to be unhappy tomorrow. I don't want but you not going nowhere if I tell you that I fucked another bitch. She ain't going
Baby
nowhere.
Boy 2 starring mine.
Right,
I love you.
This is Baby Boy 2. I don't tell you about them other girls because I care about your feelings. At the end of the day, he really do want this chick to stay there. Like, because that's way too much to be doing just for a chick that you just smashing from time to time. And they already said we haven't had sex in weeks. So that means there's some kind of emotional turmoil or distance there, meaning they were really close before. And even though they have distance, he still don't want her to go nowhere. He want her to be there. He just want her to be on the back burner. He don't want that girl going nowhere. This is like one of them situations where people be like, you ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. But he still want his piece on the side.
Let me play it.
How do we get here? Not just us, but like the whole hookup. I don't want a relationship with you. I just want your time and energy. Like, where did all that start?
Someone getting hurt and then settling for something they deep down really don't care to have. They just settle for something temporary so they don't get hurt. They're not invested emotionally, so it holds no weight.
Yeah. It's like we scared to want more. We care more than we show.
Because caring gets you hurt. I cared.
I didn't mean to make you regret this.
I don't regret it. It's just now I remember why I stopped expecting things from people. Question though, and I know I'm gonna regret asking this. Why don't you want to be with me? You having to think about that is crazy.
Okay, all right, no, I'm finding it. The right words. Commitment. I'm scared of it. I find comfort in knowing that somebody is there for me, but I'm not obligated to do certain things, if that makes sense.
So you've been using me?
I don't want to say that.
No, it's okay. You can say it. 'Cause I've been using you too.
How? Don't you want a relationship?
Yeah, but not with you anymore. I could have been found my man elsewhere, but I found comfort in you and the things you were doing for me. I knew you didn't want a relationship, so I settled and just enjoyed the things that you would do for me.
So we've both been lying to ourselves.
Yeah. Difference is I'm done lying.
I don't blame you.
It's crazy though. We do everything a couple does. Eat together, sleep together, call each other first thing when something happens, and still, it's nothing.
That's the problem right there. Keep trying to change what nothing is.
No, you keep trying to change it. I was just following your lead.
How's that working out for you?
Terrible, because I want to slap you.
Wait, where you going?
Home, where I need to be.
Okay, wait. I know this is probably the end for us, but I just want you to know that I really am sorry for not being completely honest with you all the time, even if it would hurt you. I really do love you and care about you.
Are you saying this because you don't want to lose me?
I'm not, but I don't want to lose you.
So you only realize what you want when you're about to lose it.
No, that's not it. I always knew what I wanted.
Really? Because 2 minutes ago, you didn't want to be in a relationship.
I didn't mean it like that. I thought keeping things cool would make it easier between us.
No, it made it easier for you. This whole thing has been one-sided. You really never cared how I felt. You just don't want me to leave you, and you'll say anything to keep me.
All right, all that is true, but no, I don't want you to leave. I figure we really need this conversation, but why are you making the decision so fast?
Because I finally see things for what they are. You don't have to keep me hostage anymore, okay? But you're right, though. We're not together. So why you tripping?
She'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, that was a little bit of manipulation there. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, you made it home safely?
Yeah, I did. Thank you. Did you?
Yes, sir. You missed me yet?
Nah.
Oh. Okay then. Why didn't you tell me? You good?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Guess I'll talk to you later then.
Okay.
Damn, no, he hurting both.
He figured he'd try that honesty shit.
Yeah, he was honest with her. She said okay and talk to him later.
Exactly. The honesty can keep the problem going longer.
He about to turn into a berserker.
Nah, you gotta take care of your bitches, man. You making them both mad now.
That's why I can't have hoes, bro. That dealing with multiple women and having to do that shit with more than one person.
He's okay with being a goddamn trick.
Fuck that. That shit is. I almost feel like having hoes is a broke nigga sport. Ain't nothing for me. I can't. There's nothing. I can't deal with it. Dealing with a bunch of handful of women at the same time and having had the same conversation about how was your day, what's your favorite color, like tell me about your childhood. And because if I got 5 women, one of them's gonna become my favorite, and I'm gonna treat the other 4 like my favorite because I'm too lazy to remember they all got different needs and wants. So I just stick to one because that shit is crazy.
Cost too much money too.
No, I mean, so that's
he got it.
Now the money part is not. I don't give a shit about that. My time is what it costs too much. It takes too much of my time to spread myself around to a bunch of women. And at the end of the day, typically with a lot of guys, when you get to a certain point with women, they start getting on your nerves anyway. After you done got used to the head, you done got used to her jumping off the chandelier, doing tricks on the dick, all that cool shit. After you get used to that, you start just noticing things about her, like, man, her feet really do be ashy.
And you
want
want
to
live with that?
She put her foot out. She put her foot out on my windshield. Like just a little shit will start annoying you. And I'm not willing to risk that happening with 3, 4, 5, 6 women. I don't want to waste your time, baby, and I'm not gonna waste mine. So no.
You don't got enough love to give her to spread around. That's all.
No, I just don't like. I don't like most women enough to deal with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get True in there. Go ahead, True.
I'm just reminiscing. Y'all making me laugh. When Willie was talking, I was like, that means you didn't curate the team correctly. Because if you curate the team correctly, I spent way less money when I had a squad compared to having one woman. Like money, oh shoot.
I'm saying, like,
I said the money wasn't. I said the money wasn't a thing. For me, it's my time.
True got the blueprint.
That was me, True.
True got the blueprint.
Yeah,
you gotta get with True, Trev.
But it was just funny. I was laughing. I was like, damn, just reminiscing, you know.
True said the good old days. Looking at.
Well, look, as far as this video, it's obvious he was trying to keep his end pussy at home. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and test the waters on this new chick and found out she wasn't what he thought she was. It's not worth being with her. I'm not entertained by her. I'm not. She really don't turn me on. I thought she did, but she talked nice, sound good for the moment. I want to go out there and try that cat out, and come to find out, she ain't shit. She's one of these local skeezers that I made a bad decision on, and I no longer want to invest no more time, money, energy in this heifer. So I'm gonna let her go. That's why he let her on the auto mission. Because you a dime a dozen. I wasted my time going out there, and I'm mad at myself that I wasted my time and energy and money going out there to entertain you. But somehow I found this woman that I really have in-house. I really like her. And now I hate to see her go like this. But now I'm going to say whatever I need to say to bring her back home. Now, will she come back? I don't know. She may. She looked like she could be turned. She looked like she could be brought back to the fold. But it's going to take a little work. And it's going to take some time. Let her know that, hey, it was always you. It was not me. I wasn't ready to commit now, but I'm ready to I wasn't ready to commit then, but I'm ready to commit now. And now he got to try to sell on it and see if she bites. Will she? Who knows? I'll land it there.
She'll be back tomorrow.
You know, I do, after watching the whole end, I do think that he genuinely is maybe about to have like a transformation, possibly. It did seem genuine, like the way when the girl called, he like, yo, I don't even care no more right now. So he's about to, you know, kind of go through an experience, whether he do it on his own or try to get Shorty back. But he about to probably have a transformation. I did that at one point in my life where I just was like, I deleted all the girls' numbers in my phone. You know them girls who you like, you can like whenever you out of a relationship, you can call them up. Y'all pick up right back where y'all left off. You know, start fucking around. You get another relationship, but you can always call them. Like, you know, I deleted all them numbers out my phone. I just, you know, so I've been through it. So I think that it was probably genuine towards the end. He probably was just kind of like processing and stuff like that.
Why'd you have to delete the numbers?
I don't know. I don't delete numbers. It was a metaphor, I guess. But I stopped, like I cut off contact with them people. So I haven't. Yeah, like delete. I don't delete or block people.
Lies in the pocket, don't
you just lied to me.
Really?
Yeah, that's the guy that said it's okay to lie to people that you don't owe nothing to. He said that already.
Yeah, I give them to all y'all.
If
But
you lie to somebody, you giving that person power over you, because now you got to be accountable to the lie you told them. Like,
you know, I
so
did.
now that
Keep
person
lying.
gets to use that shit against you. Like you said that you was over. I tell my girl I'm over Mont's house playing Madden, but really me and Mont was in the strip club fucking strippers. If she asked me 3 weeks from now, I gotta really hope that I didn't forget that I was at the strip club. I said I was playing Madden when
just
I was
lie
at
again.
the strip club fucking strippers. Like
Now you can just lie again.
Yeah, that's my point. And you can't just tell one lie. So then you gotta keep remembering, like, and just that
Now you tell a new lie.
the mental rigmarole is just not. It doesn't make sense. Just tell the
Tell a
truth.
tell a
Get
brand
that
new
shit over
lie.
with.
It's not that difficult to
Just keep coming up with new
lie,
lies.
but-
That's all, my brother. You don't gotta remember the whole one.
Why did you just lie to us? The fuck you gonna get out of lying to us?
See?
Yeah,
Can't
so if
trust
I could,
none of y'all niggas on the
if I
panel.
could
Y'all be lying
clarify,
all the time.
I cut off access to those individuals. So
yeah,
but I don't think I've ever deleted a number. I don't even save numbers. Yeah, I didn't have the people numbers saved.
Now you don't save numbers.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! All right. Back him up. Back him up.
God,
Get him out of here.
Yo, I swear to
Get him
God,
outta here.
my daughter with her grandma. My daughter with her grandma right now, and I'm like, let me search for her grandma number. I'm like, damn, I didn't save it. Like I searched for like the thread. So yeah,
Yo,
Man, you got me questioning if there's an actual grandma.
it might not be.
He don't got his daughter grandma number.
I might be a habitual liar. So she might be at granddad house. I'm just lying for no reason.
I don't save people numbers either. I mean,
For some reason that sounded like the truth.
I'm very big about. I save my girl's number just because you give a ringtone and some shit like that. But generally speaking, I'm not saving nobody's phone number. I can find you based on our conversation, and if I can't tell who you are based on what we talk about, I just delete the thread anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Damn.
Niggas too cool to save numbers now. Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying, like,
it's always some new too cool shit that for niggas to do. Niggas too cool to save numbers now.
If I don't talk to you on a regular basis, who
Don't
gives
try
a
to
fuck?
say this to save Mont's black ass. Let him live on his own goddamn life.
Let him get his shit off.
Sometimes I don't save them. People will be texting me.
Let him
not
get his shit
nothing.
off. You know he got to. Let him have fun. But yeah, I don't save numbers. I think it's just laziness. I be thinking about saving her like numbers. I just be forgetting to save.
Oh God!
So some people numbers I be wanting to save. Like Chase, I be wanting to save Chase. I be going on Google like Chase customer service number every time I need it. I need to save it.
The people that don't want to save phone numbers can't comprehend why two people wouldn't want to live together. It's crazy to me. You can have a whole connection with somebody. You can have a whole connection with somebody your whole life. Don't save their number. You talk to them all the time without saving
My
their
woman number saved.
Nigga, you say we don't save addresses.
You can't conceive having a relationship with somebody you don't live with. That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
But we're not saving folks' addresses either. That would be more like if saying we don't want to have two separate homes because we don't memorize the address. Like I don't have nobody's address saved. I know addresses by heart because I either frequent them or I send shit to them all the time. I don't have to save somebody's number because to me, like I talk to Mont on a regular basis, talk to JR and White. I can tell from y'all's fucking threads who it is based on what we were talking about. Like if I gotta save your number, I feel like I'm forcing the shit. Like I save like business contacts phone numbers or like businesses, like restaurants that I want to go to and shit. I'm not gonna save like my niggas' numbers because then too, I'm still from the school where I remember phone numbers. So that way, if I get locked up, I know who I can call somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I may have an emergency contact on my phone.
Commitment. I think it might be a trauma response.
Nigga. Listen, my trauma response for saving phone numbers might be real because I used to get beat for not memorizing phone numbers when I was a kid. So,
hey, Mont,
that's a wild thing to get beat for.
Yeah.
Memory is crazy.
This next clip right here, mine is not the one you just sent me, but you put this in the group.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and get you guys' responses. I know some people didn't respond to it, but I'm curious.
Of my heart, I apologize. I knew there was a certain group of men who didn't like women due to like past heartbreak and mommy issues, but the amount of men I'm learning actually hate women, like truly despise women, yet y'all still label yourselves as heterosexual. blows my fucking mind. The fact that you can't see the first life you ever depended on was a woman's. Grown-ass man with daughters and wives being unable to view them as anything other than objects will never sit right with me. Y'all saw me on Cam Newton's podcast and I asked him, Cam, do you have any platonic relationships in your life? It was a rhetorical question. You know why? Because 40% of Cam's staff that was in the room that day for that conversation were women. Niggas in the comment section like, at least he's self-aware and be aware enough to know you just disrespected all of them. Telling them, if you do not serve me, I do not see you as a human being. Niggas like, he just standing on who he is. This lady gonna respect that. Imagine being that woman. How hard it is to sleep at night, knowing if something piques your man's interest, your respect is now up for grabs. Imagine that. Niggas like, it's in our nature. That's who we are as men, nigga. You've never studied anatomy. You are not a historian and you do not speak for the masses. Shout out to all the real niggas in the comment section defending women. This shit is crazy. Niggas don't know what platonic means. But y'all sitting here having whole ass debates under this comment section fighting women. A platonic relationship is any relationship you've established boundaries within. I respect you too much to sexualize you. You niggas just can't admit you have no self-control. Your woman will respect you more for not attempting to avoid fire, but extinguishing it, the thought of it for her. Until you niggas have a respect for women, us real men will never have respect for you.
Oh my God! Thank you. Stop. Oh my God! That was,
Real quick question for the
I
chat.
hate niggas
Have
that
y'all
talk
ever
like
called
that with that
yourself a real
music.
man?
No real man calls himself a real man.
Thank you.
All right, so let's focus on
Hold
the,
on, please,
hold on.
Oh my
Hold on.
God.
So when you guys talk, let's focus on what he was saying and not necessarily just coming at him. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about what he
Both are
said.
important.
JR, can we ask Mutt to
I wanna
describe
address
why
one
he
thing.
said it and what his thoughts on the video are? I think that's going to be interesting.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Why did you send the video and what are your thoughts on the video and what he said?
I thought it was an amazing video.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we need more guys like him out here. You know, just hold other men accountable. Yeah.
Listen, one thing I thought he said that was real stupid is this concept that you don't believe someone's a human because you don't want to have a platonic relationship with them. Like we don't have to. Platonic relationship is a friendship. We don't have to be friends. Like you don't have to be friends with everybody just because they're human. Like a human could be a stranger. You can have a co-working relationship with them. Like there's a lot of different relationships you can have with humans that aren't platonic friendships. Then I just have this issue with constantly framing human attraction as like sexualization. Like if a man is attracted to a woman, they try to frame that as though he's sexualizing her. Like it's not a sexualization process. That's what attraction is. You don't control who you're attracted to. No guy's looking at a woman and going, I want to be attracted to her. I want to be attracted to her. Sexualize. And then now all of a sudden he's seeing her in a sexual way. It's like he look at her and go, holy goddamn, oh my God. Like so it's like, I don't know what kind of self-control he's talking about because it's human nature to be attracted to people. Like you can't control who you're attracted to. And all Cam Newton is saying is that I don't want to compromise myself by trying to maintain a friendship disingenuously with someone I'm attracted to. I can't pretend I'm going to be your friend when the whole time I know I want to pipe you down. It just doesn't make sense. That's disrespectful to myself. That's disrespectful to you, and it's not realistic. So I don't know, this whole real man thing he's on, the whole slow music, the piano chords I just hate that. It's like, and it be dudes like that are the Derek Jacksons of the world. Like these are the dudes that talk all this real man stuff, but they got a harem of 30 women they knocking down back to back. They cheating on their girl. They got 5-6 baby mothers, but they want to talk to you about holding it down and all of this nonsense. Like I don't want to hear it. I just feel like everything he's saying is just a ploy to get women. That's all it is. The music is there to get women. The little soft-spoken, slow tone is there to get women. The real man reference is just there to get. He's trying to do is frame himself as I'm a real man. And no one's asking him no questions about his personal life. He's asking everybody else questions about their personal life, because as long as we get to avoid his personal life, he gets to be the real man in the room that's pulling everybody else's card. It's fucking nonsense.
He sound like a bitch ass nigga to me, and it's not because he was talking about defending women. It's because he did that sneak shit after he was on the show. He didn't have that energy for Cam Newton. He said that shit on his own because he wanted to have his Derek Jackson moment. You can't say that Cam is being, he's fake or whatever because he has a bunch of women workers. Those are his fucking employees. I'm not friends with nobody that work for me. None of them. Anybody that I cut a paycheck with that's not outside of my family or not directly my woman, I'm not friends with you. We have a business relationship. You are an employee, and I'm your employer. So to use that as a talking point to say that he doesn't value women as humans, again, it's just him being a bitch ass nigga. Like, these are the type of niggas that get women to do that finger clap shit and then do it back to them. These are the type of women the type of niggas that tell women they should be able to live alone and go do all of this shit and tell women you don't need a man. Like, he just a 5'6" version of that Yada nigga. Like, tell the women all the shit they want to hear without the money.
Yada 5'6" too.
Like this shit. No, Yada's 5'2". That nigga's little. Like, Yada, my 9-year-old is taller than Yada, and he's little too. But like, when we can't say like saying a man who doesn't want to have platonic relationships with women, and generally speaking, it's because we know that shit doesn't fucking benefit us as much as it does them. We get used for boyfriend energy, and we don't get boyfriend respect, privileges, or access. Name one thing that a man needs a woman for as a friend. And don't say other women's perspectives, because we all can get women. So we don't need women's perspective from another woman. Women that have a lot of male for friends have a bunch of niggas that's waiting to fuck, unless she's ugly. Because if she's ugly, then they might really see her value because she can cook her some shit. But if a woman is remotely attractive, all of those homeboys and brothers and cousins she got, they're just waiting their turn to fuck. They waiting for an opening, and they just gonna play the role until they can. And then the ones who might not be trying to fuck, like the 1 in 1,000. He just know he can't do no better. So being around her might get him some residual pussy. But at the end of the day, it's a dick behind every friendship that a woman has with a man.
You know what's so sad about this? It's like we will never be able to save women from niggas like this. They never gonna listen to us. Like, I guarantee if you go in his comment section, try to disagree with that nigga. Like, try to.
Mark, what if he lying? Do you think it's okay for him to lie like this because he's trying to keep women happy?
No, I don't think. I don't. I mean, get your money how you get your money. Get your money how you get your money. But I think it's corny. I couldn't stomach it. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it. But the nigga about to get his money. That video probably about to go up. Whatever. It's like selling drugs to the community. Like yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to add too. One thing I'm sick of, and I think we need to like ban this in the community, is like, can we stop comparing the relationship with the woman that you pipe to your mom? Like, I don't know why they keep doing this. Like, oh yeah, your mama's black, or
raised by women.
There's no thought in you're raised by your mother, but my mother is nowhere near anywhere. The relationship I have with my mother is never going to be like the relationship I have with a woman I'm sexually interested in. So we don't even need to compare those two things. Like, they're not even the same.
Niggas that do that are women or men who are raised by their mother. That's why they do it, because they're the ones that are looking for their mother and the women that they end up marrying. Those of us that had men in our lives, whether it be our fathers, uncles or football, we don't say stupid shit like that. Like, anytime you see one of these male feminist niggas, these Derek Jackson pander, like the Timu Derek Jacksons, they always use the same logic from the bitches that raised them. It's never man logic. It's always logic that comes from a woman-centric point of view because they were raised in women-centric echo chambers.
I think Buddy was extremely dishonest for several reasons. I think all y'all been killing on the points, but specifically using Cam's employees to make that argument and negating the fact that Cam Newton, a tall man, women find attractive, that's famous and rich. Most of the women he run into is just going to be trying to have sex with him and throwing themselves at him. So his relationship with women is not going to be the same as average men in general. And then I wish he wouldn't have been doing the preacher voice and doing all that finessing, trying to get women on, because there is value in the conversation that there's more beyond women than just sex, and you can have a relationship with them in some way and benefit from it without just having to be purely sexual all the time. But you can't even get to that because the first part of all that shit was such a lie, and he was finessing so much, we can't even validate any portion of that because you just can't co-sign that shit. When like I remember being under 25 and not being able to really see the value outside of sex in a similar Cam situation, and then getting older and say, okay, now I can get more reciprocal energy from the relationship, because there is something that you can get from being platonic friends with women. It don't necessarily have to always be about sex, but that comes when you're not hard up for sex. And then to pretend like Klaus said, the attraction, which is biology, is not a real thing, and these men are controlling who they're. No straight man can see a beautiful naked woman and say, I'm just so mature, I respect you so much that I'm not attracted. We don't even control how our joint, especially younger, how it reacts to people. We can hate your guts if you thick enough. You're like, God damn, that motherfucker wild.
Bro.
Like
Platonic relationships in your life right now? With a woman? Yeah. No. I'm not about to be around no woman platonically, because I'm not about to play them type of games. Is it self-control? I'm not about to have her around playing like I don't think that she's attractive. Is it possible to think someone's attractive and still behave yourself? Yes. Do you have control of them thoughts? Yes. We not about to be friends. I don't have good-looking women that's friends around me. I don't even have women friends, bro. I know me. You know you, okay? I know me. And what that mean? That means if I'm around a woman long enough, I'm going to find something good in her that attracts me. When you're attracted, what then happens? Sex. Oh, God damn.
Let me show you what manipulation sounds like when it's dressed up as virtue. Cam Newton said he doesn't have platonic female friends because he doesn't play those games. That sounds disciplined. It sounds principled. When the questions kept coming, the truth slipped out. It wasn't that he doesn't play those games. It's that he can't control himself around attractive women. And that matters because discipline is saying, I have desire and I manage it. What he described was any attractive woman around me eventually becomes a sexual option. That's not discipline. That's unmanaged desire. And instead of owning that, he shifted the frame and shifted the blame. Now it's not his lack of self-control, it's the game. It's
tired of these niggas. I hate.
He just lied. He absolutely said I can't control it, so I don't keep friends around me. And he literally just was like, oh, instead of owning, he literally owned up to it. He said, I'm not playing them games. I know myself. I'm not going to have no women around me. So in order for him to even make this opinion and perspective, you had to build it on a lie.
Facts.
For you to like.
So let's just switch it real quick. Let's say you got something that you like. Say you got a vice, and you know you can't stay away from it, and you decide just to cut it out of your life. That's not virtuous. That's not any form of discipline whatsoever.
Yeah, that's discipline.
Okay, then. So you're absolutely right. It's a lot. These guys are dramatic dirty macking in order to get pussy profits. And quite honestly, that's very weak. You have to create a false equivalence and then make it sensational by tugging at a woman's heartstrings by saying, these are women. You don't love women? Well, actually, he does love women. He's protecting his woman by staying away from other women.
And those women.
Right. So these dudes actually can't get it the way that Cam can get it, or the way that any one of us on this panel can get it. So in order to get it, they have to usurp our actual message, which is to be straight up, which is what Cam was doing.
He compared women to crack to him. He said women is his vice like crack is to somebody else. That's just him being honest. He's being honest. He's being genuine. He's saying, I don't want him around me. I'd rather play it safe. Like, why are we like, it's crazy because normally this is what women do. Like, why can't you be in? Like, why do you care? He's saying I don't want to be around y'all, so he don't want to be around you in that type of capacity. So,
I don't know. I get tired of this discipline conversation about biology. Like, it's like anybody with common sense knows if you got pets, let's say you got hamsters. Nigga, you put a male and female hamster in the fucking tank together, eventually you're going to have some baby hamsters. This is not a self-control thing. Like, when it comes to attraction, this is just how nature works. You put a male and female of anything together in an enclosed space long enough, they gonna fuck. It's a guarantee. Like, it's just what's going to happen. This is just human nature, animal nature, the nature of energy and spirituality. Like, I don't know why these guys keep trying to pretend
It ain't just hamsters.
With men being attracted to women.
Some species will produce asexually and then create a male and female out of two women or out of two men. Like, bro, this is biology.
Bro, it ain't just hamsters. If you put two people in an enclosed environment long enough, they fucking. Like, that's why a lot of the men that women cheat with are niggas they work with, and vice versa. You spend more time at work than you do at home. It's really difficult to build that bond. A very, very good example of that is the military. You see niggas who are fucking women that they wouldn't touch stateside, but because they're deployed and spending 18 hours a day together, like you know what I'm saying, that 4, when you hit that sand, you know, now she's like a 6. You catch her working out, you see, so she got a fat ass, now she's a 7. And if you overseas, you'll fuck anything from 7 and up. Or it was technically 4 and up. And it's just because there's a familiarity that you breed. And with familiarity, that's when guys start looking for, hey, okay, cool. You know, she is cool. She's funny. She's a good spades player. Damn, she do got a little ass. Okay, she sounds like she might be a freak. Let me see what that's like. Like, that's what sparks those thoughts and conversations with men. And to think that it's not like Cam he's being the most honest. Cam can probably fuck any woman he wants to, including these niggas, these simp niggas, their mothers, and their girlfriends, if he wanted to. So for him to say, hey, listen, I stay away from him because I know me, that's like me and Trigger Mike was talking. I don't like going to gun shows because I know if I go to gun shows, I end up having to call the Uber XL to bring all the shit home that I just bought. So I know me, so I stay away from it because guns are my vice. Or going to a casino. I don't go to a casino. No time I get a big check because I'll go in that motherfucker and go crazy because I understand that poker is something that you know what I'm saying, it's a vice for me. There's nothing wrong with what Cam said. He is intentionally saying I stay away from the thing that I think is bad for me because I know what can happen. And I think it's a noble thing staying away from these women. You think Cam can't fuck all his employees?
Right.
Like people, you know, so people don't like Cam, you know, for whatever reason. But at the same time, if Cam didn't have this podcast, anybody in the comments that you see any one of these niggas' videos, if Cam walked in the room, 6'6", 260,
right,
you know, 10% body fat, NFL champion, rich paid, they are going.
And what, you ever seen Cam in person?
Yeah, that's a big nigga.
Yo, it's like dudes basically saying like, yo, if you can't go into the crack house as a crackhead and hang out with your old crack smoking friends, nigga, you ain't got no self-discipline. You should be able to kick the addiction, walk into the crack house and hang out with your crack smoking friends while they smoking crack and not take a hit. It's like, bro, what are you fucking talking about?
But let's just switch it.
He minimized the argument when he tried to dismiss the biological aspect of it. Because what we've been trying to describe is how much our biology is different than women, and they can't really understand when we're explaining why this affects us this way. And he come in and co-signs the message like, yeah, we just the same. Biology ain't the issue. You just have no self-discipline. It goes to the root of that issue, to the conversation we've been having for like 4 years. You can't understand male biology if you're not a man. It is what it is. You could say it's
I think a lot of
their perspective is messed up. The problem is it's one of them situations where they can't understand that perspective. Like, most people aren't thieves, but if you just found a bag of money, we're probably not turning that shit in, particularly if you need it. And from the guys who are speaking this Derek Jackson bullshit, most of them, they kind of look like that, they kind of talk like that, and they pretty much repel women, right, in real life. So they're not going to see the same type of circumstances that Cam Newton is going to see. Is no way. It's when you have that much access, then you have to have some type of other shit in place. Most people can't even fathom that perspective because it's very easy to avoid getting buns because you have to try to get it. You have to go out of your way to get it. Cam has to get out of the way of buns. He has to avoid it. So that's what he's doing. And when you have that much access, your perspective changes. So he's actually doing the right thing. We all know that he, you know, I don't agree with everything he does, but I do agree with him staying out of the way because he knows himself. He knows the opportunity is going to present itself. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I had to duck plenty of females, and I'm sure most of the cats on this panel had to duck certain females that they didn't want. And that's pretty much what he's doing. He's ducking it because he already know he probably don't want another 20 kids.
On top of that, you know, it's very possible that Cam has a complex where since he's used to getting what he wants, maybe he like whenever I'm around, like yo, I gotta get it. I gotta get you because I'm used to getting what I want. So that could be a thing too.
You think them females didn't take that job working for Cam Newton with the in the back of their mind, like if this nigga try to give me some dick, I'm finna give him some pussy and try to be, you know what I'm saying, Cam, one of Cam's hoes. Like people know, like they know what they dealing with when they go deal with these types of niggas. It's like a woman who gets with a man and knows he gets bitches, knows he has no problem getting women. She understands that, and she gets with him understanding that. Then to say that we don't is just it's not true. Unfortunately, they're saying a lot of times in these like emotional or these like socio-emotional things, women are smarter than men, and they play the long game. These women, none of these women work for Cam or trying to retire. They didn't ask about 401ks and all of that other shit when they got hired. They just wanted to know what the hourly rate was, because at the end of the day, that $50 an hour they're getting, as soon as they get a chance to get some 50 inches of dick, they're gonna take for it because they're gonna swap out because they feel like fucking him is gonna be more financial gain for them than working for him, and it's easier.
The whole situation in itself is an entire false equivalence. It's literally like a broke nigga trying to talk to a rich nigga about how to spend money. It doesn't make any sense. Like technically, he's not supposed to be there in that conversation talking with him about something he can't fathom. So he's trying to hold Cam to a certain rule set that Cam has never lived by. And Cam is on a level that he will never understand. So it's almost like I'm trying to bring you down to this particular level to where the real men are. And it's like, no, you have no idea what I have to deal with. Like Trev said, I gotta smack the buns away because they come in regardless. So for them to try to use a false equivalence as a way to be sensational, like I said, they just really dirty macking in order to get the kind of play that Cam is gonna get.
Punt, they hate it from outside the club, they can't get in.
Like the worst part to me was that like Cam platformed him like several days ago. I don't know when it was, but he platformed him. That he had 500,000 followers. Like he's a little relationship guy, but like nowhere near who Cam be having on his platform. Nowhere near who he normally have on his platform. I'm assuming that he gave him an opportunity. And you was laughing all in his face. You never pressed him like, yo, Cam, I don't think you're a real man for that. You never said that shit to his face. Then you get home and you shoot this corny ass video, this performative fucking video.
Going in.
And he got a grass wall. Like that's one of the most feminine decor shit ever.
Yeah. That's some whole shit. A grass wall is some whole shit.
Restaurants put glass walls
until somebody answers. And
grass walls is how you get hosts to brunch.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. That's the brunch hole magnet. A grass wall with a neon sign so they can take pictures up under that motherfucker.
Until somebody answers me, who gonna be the boys? And I know this is a very gendered conversation, but when did women stop being a prize in heterosexual relationships? Like when did that start?
A woman is a good woman. Yeah, that's a gift from God. Yes, but the man is the prize. See,
and I already know what y'all gonna say about context missing and the blah blah. I heard the whole thing, and God damn it, who's gonna be the boys? Now listen, I agree that it's a gift from heaven. I'm with all of that. I agree with all of that. And I do believe that you can mutually be a prize for one another. But in this situation, the way it is being framed, who's going to be the boys? And I'm getting tired of these weak podcast conversations. Okay, because Shannon Sharp ain't no interviewer, and he ain't going to correct it. He's just not. Because he did think he was the prize. Matter of fact, he was the prize. To that lady who he was talking freaky with on the phone that he had to settle outside of court with. I'm done.
Who gonna be the boys?
Why is he talking about heterosexual relationships?
Boy, mind your business.
That dude was gay.
boy,
Y'all better stop listening to gay motherfuckers.
We don't need the batty boy to tell us.
Why y'all got Little Richard replying
boy.
about Shannon Sharp's podcast, man? That was Little Richard's cousin right
Boy,
there.
we don't need that money.
Yeah, I don't think shit.
that was
I
wild.
think shit a boy lover say serious when it comes talk about men's issues. Like that's like asking a woman. It's even worse asking a woman because a woman's supposed to suck dick. He not. So it's like anything he has to say about non-gay issues is moot to me.
Yeah. You know, this whole problem with like the men prize thing, I think it's an issue that women started. And I think it's because traditionally women used to be the prize. I get it, right? Like when I was growing up, my mom husband, right? Average, medium, ugly guy. He had a decent job. He paid the bills. My mom was cute. You know, she was his prize. She was his trophy.
What?
But the women these days, right? You want a man as good looking or not, if not better good looking, more good looking than you. You want a top 10% man, and they all want a top 10% man. So the other 90% of women can be the prize, but y'all wanting a top 10% man, you can't be the prize no more, right? Go get you a medium ugly nigga with an okay job. Cool, but you don't want that no more. You want the prize. Like you want, like even like Kevin Gates, right? I watched that interview and I'm like, he's a very charismatic guy. He's funny. He's a funny guy, right? He has that type of personality that's like, you know what? Even though this nigga said some weird shit, you is kind of funny, right? Like, so I was and he got money and all this. So I was just imagining like his woman, she's just pretty. She's just pretty. But like Kevin Gates tells the story of their relationship. He tells like he's the person. He's the fucking prize. Like it is what it is. If you want that type of man, then you can't. They want to keep the same rules but change the entire dynamic of relationships. You can't do that.
I think the only reason that the prize thing comes into play is because it is being revealed that there is less being done or less expected by one side. And if you are required to do more work in order to be a prize, you don't want to do the work. So instead of doing the work, you just say, I'm the prize. It's almost like basically printing money, but you don't have value. So that's the real issue, because when folks have to actually equate the value that they bring to the relationship, if you're just pretty, it doesn't amount to much in the long run. And so folks don't want that to actually be revealed. They don't want to go to the mirror and recognize that the value that they have is depreciating and it is only surface level. But in order to actually attain real value, they must persevere and be in the valley instead of just the peak. And most folks on the modern side of the game don't necessarily want to do that.
Mm-hmm. If we just assuming that women's standards are the metric, that's the baseline, right? Women want a mate that is bigger, better, smarter, stronger, makes more money, is better than them in all the measurable metrics of their own volition. If that's the case, how is the man not the prize to them?
Willie, don't forget to add. They want the leader of the friend group. They don't want one of the. They don't want one of the.
All of that. So how if under that premise, how is the man not the prize then? Because because a man is a prize in that regard under their logic and what they want, a woman can be a prize to a man too based on what he wants. The only issue is that women have a problem with men saying they're the prize because they automatically think that diminishes them. They automatically think that it means they're less valuable and they're not as valuable as him, because again, women tend to only want equality at the expense of men. But if you look at it from an equity standpoint, my woman is a prize to me for a multitude of reasons. I'm a prize to her for a lot of other reasons that she would never be a prize to me for. If she's not a prize to me because she's got a degree, she's not a prize to me because she's educated, none of that shit makes her a good wife. She's a prize to me because she's nurturing, she's feminine, she's fit, she's gorgeous, and she's nasty. Those are what make her a prize to me. My woman doesn't say any of that stuff when it comes to me. Like, I'm a protector, provider, all of the other shit is what makes me a prize to her. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just because I win this one doesn't mean you have to lose. There is no loss for the women to have. We just look at things differently.
Well, also, here's the thing. The reason why I feel like men are the prize, and the reason why I feel like this is because it don't matter what status man he is. If you put a man in a woman's life, her life's going to become better in some way. Something in her life is going to become easier. Something in her life is going to become manageable simply by a man being in his life. That's not the case for men. You add more women to his life, and you add more expenses. You add more complications. You add more decisions he has to make. So just simply off that, just a man being in a woman's life adds value to her in general. A woman who's married at all to any man is considered valuable in the realm of women because she has a husband. A woman with a husband is considered more valuable than a woman that doesn't. So at the end of the day, yeah, we the prize. We a big prize, you know what I'm saying? And we should act as such. Now, land there.
To me, typically women have an uncanny ability to be able to override logic and bypass reason, right? They can just do that. They don't. It's optional. Reasoning is optional. So if they want to believe that they are the prize, it's socially acceptable for them to think so, even if it's not true, and you can't even combat it, or you look like a fool. So the main thing is just to not even entertain that shit. Because at the end of the day, how is that female going to even treat you? What is she doing for you? You'll know if she feels like you the prize. She's going to treat you like that shit.
But that's it.
Yeah. We're going to get to these super chats, man. Get up out of here. Bishop Mama G with the 99 cent super sticker. Brother with the 99 cent super sticker. And brother again, the 99 cent super sticker. Appreciate everybody that has contributed to the platform. Hope you guys enjoy the show. The best way to support the show is the like button on your way out. I want to thank you guys. Catch y'all on the next one, and we are out.